know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. This week we are covering another sci-fi horror film. We are covering 2022's M3GAN. As always, I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya.
Hello.
And Twan.
What up?
Just a quick reminder for returning guests and first-time listeners, we are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B movies, and horror. All of these opinions are subjective, so enjoy the ride. All right. M3GAN. This movie was actually, I never had any desire to watch this movie. I thought it looked stupid as fuck. Also, like, M3GAN kind of reminds me of those, like, old school, like, Victorian era dolls that everyone's grandma owned.
Like the Annabelle one?
Yeah, like the Annabelle one. So, like, I've always been, like, off-put by those. I don't know, it's that, like, Hidden Valley shit. So I was like, I don't know if I ever want to watch this movie. But
Hidden Valley Ranch?
I think, is it
Valley
Hidden
Ranch.
Valley?
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley, there you go. But this movie surprised me. It was actually, it was pretty solid. It was funny, too. So that was cool. I did not expect it to be, like, a black comedy. I thought it was going to be like more of a straight up horror movie. So you guys have seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first viewing. I'm curious. Was it? How many times have you seen it?
3
My
times?
second.
This was my third.
The third time?
Yeah.
Was it better, worse? Did you notice things about it that you didn't notice the first time?
It's about the same. I've enjoyed it the whole way through. Like I never didn't like it, and I thought it was like entertaining. It's almost like an advanced Chucky.
Yeah, it is kind of like an
That's
advanced
kind of what it
Chucky.
feels like. And so I really enjoy Chucky. I mean, I named both my cats after characters from Chucky. So I like this like style of movie, and yeah, just a fun ride overall.
What about you, Twan?
I didn't enjoy the movie the first time I saw it, and I wasn't really looking forward to watching it again, because of not liking it the first time around. But I definitely I enjoyed it more this time, for sure. But yeah, going into it initially, the first time left a bad taste in my mouth, so I was a little pessimistic at first.
Nice. The same. Like I hadn't seen it, but I was like, I never had a desire to see it, so I was like, all right, well, let's watch this movie. I feel like it's easier when we watch movies on here that I've never heard of, because I'm like, okay, I have like no expectations.
Yeah.
But since I actively decided in the past like not to watch this movie, I was like, okay, well, let's see if I was missing out. But I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the movie was pretty enjoyable. I dare say it's the best. It's the most original movie James Wan has put out in a while.
Damn.
There's a Blumhouse production / James Wan production.
Twan's running through the whole James Wan discography in his brain right now.
I would say Malignant was better than this movie.
Oh, I haven't
even.
It's the
even
same
though
writer too.
Yeah, they're kind of like in the same genre of like black comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen Malignant. That's the A24 one, right? Or is that a
No, this
Blumhouse?
one's
No, it's
Blumhouse.
also Blumhouse.
Yeah, it's Blumhouse,
Yeah.
James Wan, and
The
the other guy.
Damn,
Kella?
I don't want to ruin it. I think that one is way more like a crime movie though. Like there's investigators and like it's like a whole like thing, whereas this one is way more focused on just the fucking hooligan that is M3GAN. I think the other one there's like a whole investigation, but then it does become an action movie. So there's
Malignant does?
yeah.
It's a wild movie.
That one is pretty nuts. Damn, between Malignant or M3GAN,
I mean, it's both sound original. I think, but like James Wan made Saw. He did Conjuring 2. He directed a Fast and the Furious movie. Like he's been all over the place. He did The Nuns.
yeah, but you were saying like one of his more like better recent movies.
Well, I feel like
right?
original, right? Because like he did the Saw movie, and that like blew up, put him on the map. Super unique idea.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like if you look at his like filmography, a lot of what he did was adding on to like already existing franchises. Like
Yeah.
he did The Conjuring
Yeah.
2, but he didn't do The Conjuring 1.
Yeah.
Like he did The Nun, which was like kind of an offshoot of The Conjuring.
Hmm.
He did Annabelle, was also like an offshoot. So like he at
Insidious.
Insidious, but he did Insidious 2. He didn't do Insidious 1.
Really?
You know, he
I-
directed Insidious 1.
But he didn't write Insidious 1.
Oh, yeah.
But he wrote Insidious 2. I guess
Yeah.
like from a writing perspective.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't direct this movie. It was Gerard Johnston who,
Yeah, he was a producer for this one.
yeah, and part writer with Akela Cooper.
Yeah, and there's going to be a new Mummy movie, produced by James Wan.
Mummy movie, like
The
like
Mummy,
the Tom Cruise one.
like the
Like
Brendan
the
Fraser one, bro. Get
Brendan
it right.
Fraser.
I mean, that one
And
was that was
he did
great.
come out and say that he would want to return, which is
Oh,
cool.
it's gonna actually be a sequel to that one.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
That
But
would
he
be
just
sick.
said that he would love to return if given the chance or the opportunity.
Yeah.
Seeing him as in his like whale fat suit, just like running away from Imhotep.
Damn. So in terms of like stories that he's written, it's M3GAN, Malignant, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom,
I was did Aquaman.
Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It, Annabelle Comes Home, Aquaman 1, The Nun, Insidious Chapter 2, Dead Silence, Saw 3, Saw 1, and Stygane, which was the first movie he ever did. Original movie. I don't know. I like this one more than Malignant.
Malignant.
Yeah. I had
Final
more
answer?
fun with this one.
It was a fun movie, and now I want to watch it because I've never heard of like Akela Cooper, and because I never seen The Nuns. I thought The Conjurings got like progressively worse. So like
Mhm.
after I saw the third Conjuring, and I was just like, that was the one that was in the UK, right? The third one.
Yeah. With
I
the
was like,
crooked man.
yeah. I was like, it was okay, but I like the first two Conjurings
Mhm.
because the nuns introduced in the second one, right?
No, wait. Sorry.
Yo, oh,
The Conjuring 2 is the Crooked Man.
yeah, that's the crooked man.
And then the
That the UK
Conjuring
one?
3 was that's the
The
UK one.
werewolf.
The Conjuring 3 was the werewolf, like
Yeah.
one where that guy he was in court and he claimed that and his case was the devil made me do it.
Yeah, that's right. The devil made me do it. I never saw that one.
Yeah.
No, I did see that one, the third one. But they made a
In-
fourth one, no? Or that's one that's coming out.
They're
That's the one
making
that's coming out.
Okay, then I have seen all of them.
they're making one. Yeah.
And then they made like Annabelle 2.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen those. Damn,
The
I can't.
Nun, the
Maybe I
Nun
haven't
2.
seen the Nun. Then I've seen the Annabelles and I've seen the Conjurings.
Have you seen La Llorona? The
Yes.
Curse of La Llorona?
Sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. It kind of
Just
reminded.
jump scare fest.
With Velma from Scooby Doo.
Yep.
That's from Grandma's Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She's the mom.
But I have seen La Llorona. That was okay. I feel like I don't love James Wan's type of horror.
Mhm.
I honestly, I feel like not to bring up a masterpiece, but oh my god, fucking Saya picked it for spooky season.
Hereditary?
Hereditary.
Yeah, Hereditary just like ruined horror movies for me. Like I'm watching Hereditary, I was just like, oh, so you don't have to just do jump scares all the time. Like you can make like a genuinely terrifying movie without like the cheap scares.
Yeah.
So now, like when I watch a horror movie, I'm like, I like this movie because it's fun.
Yeah.
I like Hereditary because it's spooky.
I think that's why I enjoy foreign horror movies because they often tend to, not all the time, but often tend to stay away from more Americanized like jump scares. Like we're so conditioned for easy, like quick serotonin hits and like doing things like jump scares or like that's like a us thing. But the rest of the world doesn't do movies like that. They have more general like sense of dread, like crazy drama story that's going on. So that's why we got to get Pulse this upcoming week.
All right, let's get back to it. So, directed by Gerard Johnston. It's crazy. I think this is his first feature film. It looked like he did a lot of stuff in TV. Like we said, written by Kelly Cooper and James Wan. The music was done by Anthony Willis, who worked on Saltburn, How to Train a Dragon 2 and 3. The cast. I thought it was interesting that there's two Megans. So we have Allison Williams, who plays Gemma, who's a real fucking piece of shit in this movie. I fucking hated Gemma so much. She's from Girls and Get Out. She's the daughter in Get Out, right?
Mm-hmm. She's
Oh,
the one
yeah,
who,
yeah.
who lures him in and eats her cereal with a bowl of cereal on one side and then a bowl of milk on the other side. She dips it in. She eats it like that.
That's
Craziest
fucking
way to eat
No,
cereal.
it's a bowl of cereal and then a glass of milk with a
Crazy.
straw, and she'll eat the
Crazy.
cereal like popcorn and then drink the milk.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
It's like
to think
Frank
about.
Reynolds when he makes a sandwich in his mouth.
That's such an uncomfortable. I don't know who Frank Reynolds is.
Ah, it's Always Sunny.
Always Sunny.
Yeah,
Is that a newer one?
he takes a bite out of bread and then puts sandwich meat in his mouth and then squirts mustard and mayo. Like, I make the sandwich in my mouth. It was a Dynasty episode. I forgot what season it was.
Oh,
It's Shady
wild.
Nasties.
okay.
Yeah.
I had to watch again.
So, anyways,
People doing
Brings
normal things not normal makes me so uncomfortable.
like taking a bite out of like a fucking Kit Kat. Just
The long way.
All right, we have Katie, who's played by Violet
Sorry.
McGraw. So she was in Haunting of Hill House. I don't remember from Haunting of Hill House.
I think she was the young. She was a little girl that saw the bent neck lady.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
That's who she is.
Come
That's
on, yeah.
right. That's
Come
right.
on.
I haven't seen Haunting in years, dude. That show like felt like it was not that old, but I think it came out like in 2019,
Yeah,
Yeah.
2018.
2018. It's been 7 years since that show came out.
7 years.
wild.
Then we have Ronnie Chang. He's like a stand-up comedian. He plays David, who's also in Crazy Rich Asians, Joyride. It's pretty funny.
I like him in Last Week Tonight. All of his
Oh, that's right.
the time that
Yeah.
he's been in it. Yeah, I think he does like a skit when he was like a Facebook employee, which was kind of funny.
He's also in the Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
He's like his sideline guy, right? Or his
Yeah.
side promoter. He's what Trevor Noah used to be,
I think so. Yeah,
I didn't know Trevor Noah was already part of the show.
wasn't he? Didn't he like take over, or who was it? Who
I
was
remember. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know.
I forget. This is like high school times. He retired so long ago.
Yeah.
Then we have all right. So the actor who plays Megan is Amy Donald, and she was in a movie called Sweet Tooth. I've never heard of. And the voice of Megan is Jenna Davis, and she was in Lisa Frankenstein. Outside of Gemma Allison Williams, it's a pretty like no cast. I didn't like really know any of these people. Oh, I guess I knew Ronnie Chang, but like when you throw like a stand-up comedian in a movie, it's usually like, ooh, this movie's not going to be that good. But no, he was good. He was like a good like asshole like tech boss. I felt like.
hmm
Yeah.
I thought the cast overall actually was pretty good.
Yeah, they all did a good job.
The actress that played Megan, she did a good job of like being like hella creepy, especially when she does that like weird dance
hmm
before she like chases down Ronnie Chang's character. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Oh no, that's just a crazy thing to see just moments before you die. Just some robot. It's like doing some
See a robot
celebratory
pull out
dance.
a fucking axe. Did Megan like her like actual Meganness creep you out through the whole movie? Because you said that you like Uncanny Valley like really freaks you out. So were you like whenever it would just be a scene
No,
of Megan just staring?
I got used to it. I think it's because like when you're first introduced to Megan, you see her as like the robot skeleton.
Yeah.
And then like when they put like you see her get like constructed. So I was like, oh, okay. But like from the commercials, I was like, oh man, she looks like really like weirdly fake, but not super fake at the same time.
Yeah.
Like really like unnatural looking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, as I got through the story, she wasn't as creepy.
Nice.
But we'll get to that.
I'm glad you overcame your fear.
I do love that the movie pops off with you knowing that it's a comedy with that
Mhm.
fucking commercial about like your dog died. You know it doesn't die.
Yeah.
And it's like the world's ugliest like Furby fucking thing, and like if you feed it too much, it'll like shit its pants. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, okay, this is like a satire of like I don't know, like the toy industry and like
Mhm.
Consumerism.
That's why
consumerism and how we like the dumbest shit.
it almost
Yeah.
feels like a really advanced Chucky, like a modernized version of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's what the I was gonna say Shy Guy from Mario. The good guys. That's what the good guys are supposed to be, right? Like they're supposed to be this like advanced toy that plays with children. Children don't need like other toys.
Yeah.
Kind of Megan like a new. I mean, original. Like everything else is original, but I feel like that concept of like making fun of like the toys are is like a thing.
yeah. I think one thing I like about Megan that was pretty interesting too about her being an advanced Chucky is that they also do a good job of like linking in the whole like always online factor and like building a relationship with like technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool in the way like that Megan learns your patterns, so she almost knows you better than like your family does because it's
Mhm.
like constantly watching you and observing you and like has readings of your vitals and shit. Like it could just like react on the fly.
Yeah, it has like a emotional ranking system.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I thought Megan was super creative and actually like really well done. She's probably my favorite character in the movie, even though she's
Mhm.
the bad guy.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they make the other characters a little bit on the unlikable side. But holy fuck, how dumb are fucking Katie's parents? They go to the snow. The dude doesn't know that you need to put chains on your tires. Like, what the fuck?
I got both of them were like, we didn't even know that was a thing till 5 minutes ago.
I
Like,
was like,
what?
what? Is that not common knowledge?
Maybe they just never driven in the snow.
But like, I feel like if you're within driving distance of the snow, that's probably something that people would know.
That rhymes.
I don't know.
That
And,
also rhymes.
and usually when you're like driving up, they'll be like, "Oh, chains needed past this point."
Oh, yeah.
And then the dude, she's like, "Why did you tell the guy at the gate that we had all-wheel drive?" He's like, "It looked like it was all-wheel drive."
You
I
just
think it
want-
just like adds to the like satire of the movie and how dumb these characters are.
Yeah. And then the dude's like, "All right, we're just gonna stop. Like, you're just gonna stop in the middle of the road? Like, fucking pull over to the side or something."
Can't pull over.
Can't,
Pull over.
can't
Can't
park
pull over.
over.
Pull over it. Already pulled over. Can't pull over any further.
Oh man. And they just get absolutely obliterated by a snowplow.
You bring up a funny point that I'm just thinking of now. Like, these people are so dumb. But look at the toy that they had. It was literally like a creature that you feed and it shits if
Shits.
you feed it too much. That's fucking stupid as fuck. But this is the reality that James Wan has brought us into, where these people don't know that they need chains on their tires and they get toys that shit.
And like it's so hideous, dude. It's like
It's
so
ugly.
dumb.
It's so ugly. It's cute.
It's like the
You've seen those. There's like they have toys like that now that are like
troll dolls.
nah, they're called fugly or like something like that, and they're
Oh,
like creatures that look like really really fugly. And they're just the real.
they're like
There's
Labubus.
all those are ugly.
Those are fucking ugly.
But there's these ones that you can get. They come in like an egg, and you crack it open, and it'll be like a mermaid fused with like a rabbit with like a unicorn horn and wings. And you're like, what type of fucking Lovecraftian monstrosity is this shit? But the kids love them. Kids love them. I don't know. Speaking of like the always online nature of it, even like Gemma herself, who's like the perpetual, like always online, super invested in technology. Like she has that super advanced like voice assistant. Like was it Emma or something like that?
Yeah, I forgot the name, but yeah.
Elsie.
Elsie.
Elsie. And like her sister dies, and she's like, man, that sucks. Your mom died. Well, anyways, so like if you need anything, like we can do whatever. And they're like, dude, this chick is like really like not affected by the fact that her sister just died, like a really like gruesome and like violent freak accident kind of death that came out of nowhere. And she's like shows zero emotion about her sister being dead, like the entire movie.
Yeah.
That happens.
It just, it speaks on her character that she's a mad workaholic.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't even really care.
I mean, even her coworkers acknowledge it, like, hey, dude, you should like chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we got a deadline to make. Megan's gonna fucking shock the world.
Was this a comment on tech people?
I don't know. I mean,
I feel like it could be.
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, a lot of them seem very like alien and like emotionally like stunted. But even the other like the higher ups, like David's character seems like he's pretty chill. Like a normal asshole dude. Where
Mm,
Gemma just seems like she has no emotions at all.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, David's not necessarily tech. Remember,
Oh, he's like upper management.
yeah, he's upper management because he even tells him he's like, write me a speech so I sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's true. That's true. He's the personality.
Yeah, sometimes you need to hire people to just be the lead to organize all the non-leads.
Yeah, that's true. But I wonder why they make it a point throughout the entire movie to show that Gemma is like not emotionally available.
Yeah.
Like she's
Yeah.
failing the
Well,
therapy sessions or whatever.
I mean, that's why she makes M3GAN, but she like I think her intentions were good and she's doing it because she knows that like Katie needs something, but her what's it called? Her intentions were good, but the delivery was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will give it to her. Like once she kind of realizes that there's something up with M3GAN, like she like adjusts to like shutting her down like pretty quickly. She doesn't like oh well maybe we could see what's up. She's like, oh no, this chick's going crazy. We need to like fucking handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That is a good thing. True.
So
Not
like she had ambition, but she was smart enough to realize like, oh no, this thing is like
dangerous. Yeah. I feel like and maybe this is me just like adding on to the world lore, but I think if you're like creating robots and like working with AI, you should know the limits of like what you should or shouldn't be doing. And
yeah,
like,
that's true.
as soon as it gets to like a danger point, like you definitely got to like stop and turn back. And I feel like these people knew generally like what they should be doing, which was like a nice move in the right direction. I feel like just again spitballing here, throwing out my ideas. I feel like if we like in our real reality society figure out that like AIs can be used for like nefarious purposes, I'm sure that someone somewhere is already working on it.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
yeah.
most definitely.
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at like how easily I don't know if it was easy, but like the like algorithm or the like I forget what M3GAN says it because she tells Gemma later, she's like, you created like an artificial intelligence that you like barely understood. Like you basically did it because you knew you could do it, but you didn't really know what you were doing and like how advanced it got like so fast. Like how easy that would have been to weaponize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, even like her rudimentary robot, like Bruce, like, dude, that thing was a beast.
Yeah.
Dude was a fucking monster.
That shit
Yeah, it
was
was
sick though when she
Like
busted
a
it
Hulk
out.
buster.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
put on the gloves. I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Like, dude, that's $1 million idea right now. You put that shit in a warehouse,
Foreshadowing.
getting mad work done. Yeah, they do a lot of foreshadowing. I think that's like the one of the few instances where her and Katie actually like connect when she brings Katie into like her world and like shows her like, oh yeah, look, I invented Bruce. Like, you want to learn how he works, and like she's telling him about it and stuff. I wonder if that was her like connecting with Katie, Or her also getting prepared to like introducing her to Megan, being like, look, robots aren't scary.
No, I think it was way more of just a connection moment. It isn't until
Yeah.
Katie says, "Oh, if I had something like this, I would never need another toy." Then it's just like, "Oh yeah,
She's like, Bing, fucking
I make toys."
light bulb.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it all started because she didn't have any toys for her to play with,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
and
collectibles.
yeah, just collectibles. She forced her. Well, she didn't force her, but when the therapist was there, they like opened up one of the collectibles and were trying to play with it. It
Played
was
with
like a
it
whole thing.
incorrectly.
Yeah.
Very
Because
particular about her collectibles and like putting coasters on the table and things like that. Definitely has a little sprinkle of neurodivergency in there.
for sure. Although I think it is fucked up and a lack of respect from the therapist to like be like, yeah, let's open up her collectibles. Like everyone knows what a collectible is. What the fuck?
Yeah, for real.
Like let her play with your bag.
Also, is using a coaster a neurodivergent?
I don't know.
Thing?
And she's just very particular with like
She's definitely
her things,
Everything
you
particular.
else.
know?
Everything else,
Yeah.
yeah. But I just meant coasters specifically.
No, I
No,
don't
I
think
mean
that's a
there's a
neurodivergent.
reason
Yeah.
for using them. But like to do that to a child, I don't know.
My
A
parent would
child
do
that
that to me
just
all the time. Yo, use
did
a
you lose your
coaster.
parents?
You're like, okay, cool, thanks.
I think it's important that people know. Well, maybe not. Well, people know. People should know, but it's important that like a learning lesson for children because they teach you when you're at school too. Like you're not at home, so there's ways you act at home, and there's ways you act when you're like a guest in somebody else's like domain or house or whatever. So like
Mhm.
this may not be a rule at your house, this is the rule at this house, and it like teaches you to adjust to different situations within society. So I think like it's okay to be particular and like not want her to play with your collectibles and like wanting her to learn to use a coaster and be like, well, these are the rules we do here.
Yeah.
I mean, she did just lose her parents, so you could give her a little bit more leeway. But I don't think Gemma was ever like
No leeway.
fucking use that coaster right now and just
Yeah,
fucking like
she
crack
wasn't.
the whip or anything. She was just like, oh no, we use coasters, it's a nice table. I don't know, she was probably loaded. Maybe she had a bunch of like nice shit. She
Oh
fucked
yeah,
up.
definitely.
Yeah.
Like she convinced Megan, and then like the CEO is like, we need to have a meeting about your fucking raise. Like, so
Imagine being loaded like that and then having a neighbor like that.
dude, I forgot about her neighbor. Her neighbor was whack.
With that
Also,
Yeah.
like, isn't it the neighbor's responsibility to fix the hole in the fence? Because it's
Maybe.
her fence.
Maybe it depends on the side and like the property lines.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Like if the proper typically I think fences are on property lines. So depending on like where it is, you would need to either fix it or you would have to determine that that fence is on that person's property.
I mean, it was facing the neighbor.
Yeah, it was, right? Like the poles were on her
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was her
her
fence.
fence.
So it was her fence,
was-
not her neighbor's.
Yeah, it
And
was her
her dog
responsibility.
was fucking getting through the fence.
The neighbor's dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the neighbor's fence. Right?
No, it
we're saying
was.
that we're saying the poles were on the neighbor's side.
Yeah.
No, the
That
poles
means-
were on Megan's inventor side. I forgot what her name is.
Oh, then it was
Oh,
her
Gemma?
fence then.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
where
like,
the
that
poles
doesn't- it was the
facing
neighbor's
is
fence.
that who is that's who owns it. No, because the outside world is supposed to see the poles. It's like an aesthetic thing. The poles are inside your property.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was the other way. Like
Mm-mm.
I want to see wall. I don't care about the about the world seeing these poles. I want to see my wall. I don't want to see poles. Does that mean if ever I build a fence, I'm gonna have a backwards fence?
No, you want a backwards fence.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a question. If ever I build a fence, are my fences gonna be backwards? I think
Yeah,
they'll
they'll be backwards.
Mhm.
What if I
If-
just build
if-
a double fence?
Yeah, people do that. People
Yeah.
do that because they don't like
Yeah.
because of what you're describing.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
could just just build a fucking cinder block wall too, though.
Mhm.
best way to do it: build a wall.
Yeah, build a wall.
I'll make the neighbors pay for it.
Yup.
Oh shit. Yeah, but that neighbor was fucked. But she was like so like a dick, but also like be like, so do you want to get in on this fucking weed killer? It's like, no, what the fuck? I don't want your weed killer. Just keep your fucking dog on your side of the lawn. It's like, all right, well, that's on you. I offer. That shit would fucking drive me nuts, dude.
Yeah. Like the most like invasive, like friendly neighbor with a fucking loud dog that gets in your property all the time.
But Megan going from like getting like regular to like getting fucked up happened so quickly. So do you think the dog fucking up Megan is what made it go haywire? Or do you think it would have, because it shows like when it got bit in the neck, like there's like sparks and
Like
shit, and
sparks.
like she kind
Yeah.
of like reboots herself. Do you
Mhm.
think that's what fucks her up? That if that would have never happened, we're made to assume that she would have been fine.
I don't think so because before that, they had a whole conversation about death, and I think that's what kind of triggered Megan to like redo her research on death and like become desensitized to the idea.
And
So
experience
like
like
it was like the
violence.
the seed was planted, and then maybe the dog biting the neck was just like the stick that broke the camel's back.
Maybe. I thought it was interesting that they go through all this trouble to describe like how she's made out of like fucking titanium alloy and all this shit, but then like a dog fucks it up. Like a dog should not be able to bite through titanium.
Yeah.
They make fucking tanks out of titanium. Like titanium's like super strong. Like this fucking dog just like ripped through her like nothing.
For real.
I thought that was an interesting plot contrivance.
I
Contrivance?
I like the scene where Megan is listening to Gemma and the two other researchers talk about Katie's parents, and like when she mentions like, oh yeah, Katie's parents are dead, and then Megan comes online, but you realize Megan's been online this whole time, and then she starts researching like death, or she says, I don't have the tools or the vocabulary to discuss this with Gemma, and then she researches, and then she starts going down this like rabbit hole of like what is death, and like becomes a little bit more like existential. I like that because that to me is like a terrifying moment when AI starts like questioning like the boundaries and like the concepts that they know and start learning like active learning. That's some, to me that's like terrifying shit. I feel like we're way closer to be wiped out by AI than we are by zombies now. I feel like that's my next like big fear of things that could potentially be happening. So that was a moment I remember watching it for the first time and being like, "Oh fuck, like this shit's becoming like really real. Now it knows about death. Like what's going to happen next?" And then of course it spirals soon after that.
Did you have an actual fear of an actual like zombie uprising?
Yeah, bro, you never knew. You never knew.
I knew you like zombies, but like
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a thing.
I think
Just
there's a better chance that vampires are real than zombies.
yeah. I think so, it was something. It was more along the lines of like a biological warfare kind of thing,
Mm,
where we create some type of virus that like gets unleashed into the world, and then we all die.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Wuhan 2020.
I did like the contrast scene though, right after Megan gets attacked by the dog, and then Megan like stands up and her hair's all like fucked up, and she just staring at the neighbor like just death glare at this neighbor, and the neighbor's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who is that? I thought that it was that scene was like so funny. Going from like Megan finding out about death and becoming this like really like more self-aware robot to like seeing this scene of her just staring at the neighbor. I thought that was pretty hilarious. It's a good like mix. It's not constant like fear. It's like a fear laugh like flow.
I honestly
Yeah.
think to speak on what you guys are talking on the death, that's the scarier part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because like I guess like yeah, in my head when I originally saw it, I was like, oh, that's she gets crazy because of the dog, and then Tom was like, no, I think it's when she's researching death. I'm like, oh yeah, because like Gemma's like, why are you looking that up? Like, don't do that, and she like completely disregards her and like does it anyways.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
had to like program herself as like a second primary user in order to get her to like kind of listen to her, but like she never from that point forward, she never really listens to her. Like there's still
Yeah.
a couple fail safes that work, like the pen thing. But like
Mhm.
just telling her to shut down is like not a thing from that point on.
Well, the pen
Yeah.
thing works once because she learns.
Yeah, she's like super perceptive.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she stares down the neighbor and she's like, "All right, bitch, this is how we're gonna fucking play it."
Yeah. Watching this the second time around, and like realizing it more that it's a dark comedy, I really enjoyed that the humor wasn't in your face. Like it's very subtle throughout the movie, but it's still like impactful. Like it's still funny as shit.
Just gotta point it out, the fucking Gemma just being fucking a fucking bitch. She's like, "Katie's not my kid." Like, bro, you adopted that girl. Like, that's your kid now. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be her mom. Whether she sees you as a mom is a completely different conversation. But like, from this point on, you have to take care of her the same way like her mom would take care of her. It's
Yeah.
like she didn't realize like her new responsibilities. Still wanted Megan to hold all the fucking cards. I love the way that Megan takes out the dog, dude. When she could like imitate the neighbor's voice to like lure the dog out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That shit was cool. I was like, oh, fuck's on some predator shit. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, the tech that comes out of Megan, that's not really like, it's not even described. And I feel like the researchers don't even understand like what they've created and like what Megan can do. Cause I mean we see it later on, like Megan does some shit and everyone seems really surprised. But I think this is the first time that we see the Megan herself doing some like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, her like tool set is fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that shit's fucking mad terrifying. But I think that also speaks to like later on when Megan tells Gemma, like, you don't understand what I am. Like you don't
Oh yeah.
you know what like the tools you gave me, but she couldn't predict how she would use those tools to basically like kill everybody. Because like from this point on, Gemma fucking Megan's just on a rampage. I feel like all
Yeah.
this shit happens within like a couple days.
For real.
But it's crazy though that Megan is still like held dear to like her primary objective, which is like to emotionally and physically protect Katie. Because like right after she murders the dog, that was to protect her like physically because the dog bit her on the arm, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like I'm pretty sure if that happens, like in the states at least in California, you got to put your dog down if it does some shit like that. There's like
Yep.
no way they're letting that fucking dog like continue to roam around like that, especially if it has like a history of getting out.
Why did they
Mhm.
why did they say
It's because she
that they
got bit in
couldn't?
her property.
That's that's what it was.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But like she's lucky. Like it went for the kill with fucking Megan. Like that
Mhm.
could have easily have been Katie.
For real.
Yeah.
Like that dog straight up went for the kill. But then the following day at the presentation, when like Katie breaks down about like how she missed her mom, and she misses her mom and stuff, and like how sad she is, and then she sings that song to her, and like she's like, "Tell me a memory about her," and she like saves it and shit, and like everyone gets all emotional.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, that's like that was like cool, but it was also like creepy in its own way." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's the scene that when she's talking about her mom and then she saves that for the voice clip and everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like like not even the researchers knew that that's some shit that Megan can do, which is really cool.
Even they were impressed. They're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!"
Yeah, but agreed, it was definitely creepy as fuck. I also thought watching this the third time that like I feel like Megan knew what she had to do in order to make sure that she wasn't going to be destroyed. I feel like she always makes some type of like, sure, she always tries to make some type of like emotional impact to these people to make sure that she like continues. Cause I think the first time when Megan and her meet, what happens? Oh, the picture. Like remember Megan draws a picture for Katie.
Oh, the watercolor.
The watercolor
Yeah.
one, the invisible
beast.
watercolor. And then the
Mhm.
second time
That shit
is
was
when they're
cool.
talking about the mom. And it's another like emotional moment where I think like don't aren't some of the people like crying like in the
Yeah, a couple of them are crying.
yeah. So I feel like Megan is way more calculated and I didn't pick it up until this third time going through that like I feel like she did it on purpose because she didn't have to go all out like that. It could have just
Yeah.
been like we could talk about your mom, maybe I'll like record something for you, but she even throws in like a song at the end, like just to hit that like final note of like I'm gonna
Like
hit
all
you.
impromptu. Like,
I'm gonna touch your
Yeah.
emotions real quick. Watch this.
like she knows how to manipulate people.
Yeah.
She shows that range of emotion, and then the next scene we get, well, Gemma gets a promotion or whatever. But when we see Megan interacting with humans again, is with the therapist, and the therapist brings up something that Katie like makes Katie cry, and how Megan just like straight up like threatens her and shit. And even the
Yeah.
therapist was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like,
Yeah.
but Megan can't. Yeah, as smart as she can't determine ill intent to like I guess like happenstance. Like people cry
Mhm.
over things, and it's not necessarily because the person that they were talking to made them cry. Just they brought up a memory or something that they were thinking about that got them really emotional. But Megan doesn't understand that because she doesn't understand emotion. Like she understands it from like a logical perspective, I guess, like the definition and how one's supposed to act, but she doesn't feel emotion. So she didn't understand that the therapist wasn't like hurting her in any way, but she took it as a threat like immediately and tried to and fucking basically told the therapist to like back the fuck off.
Yeah.
And I feel like we see that as she like progresses, that everything becomes a threat. Like if you upset Katie in any way, straight to jail.
Yeah. But I think it's because they didn't give Megan the ability to, and I feel like it's a hard concept to like understand, but like not everything is black and white. Most of the world is gray.
She has
But
a
when you're
nuance.
talking to like a bot or a computer, everything is always like one or zero, right? I think
Yeah.
that's how robots function, or sorry, computers function. So
Binary.
yeah, in binary. So I think yeah, just adding onto it, like I don't think Megan could ever understand that unless Megan's AI was bomb enough for Megan to learn, and potentially in any future moment we see more like morally ambiguous like actions taken by Megan, which would be a cool like turning point of the story. I feel like that'd be a nice like push forward. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it would just be another
Megan.
Megan one.
I think from this point on, like the therapist is like the only person that Megan like lets leave alive.
Mhm.
Everyone else from this point on that's a threat is immediately murdered.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Yeah,
Like she fucking wrecks that little kid at that weird hippie school.
she does.
This is fucking Brandon.
Yeah,
She like unintentionally kills him too.
yeah. I don't think she wasn't trying. I think she was trying to like put the
She
fear
was
of
for
God in
sure
him.
gonna kill that dude. She's smart enough to know that she can't just let the kid leave after she ripped his ear off.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it just so happened that she
a
didn't have to
car.
do it herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if she heard it in the distance and she knew.
Damn,
Ooh.
calculated.
Yeah, she like chased him down.
Like knew that the car was going to end up right in that position at this time and pushed him at the most precise moment.
Yep, like running like chasing like how my people used to chase mammoths into caverns so you could spear them from the top.
Damn, did not know that. That's
Oh
cool as
yeah.
fuck. Speaking about cavemen and things back in the day, did you guys see that they found dinosaur feathers?
That's cool. No, what the fuck?
No, where?
Yeah, a feathered dinosaur tail was discovered in Myanmar, perfectly preserved in amber.
Ooh,
Sick.
So confirmed.
confirmed. Let's go.
Dinosaurs being like big ass birds rather than big ass lizards just feels way more terrifying.
Yeah.
It does, because birds are fucking, they could fuck people up.
Yeah, dude, birds are crazy. Birds don't
Like-
give a fuck.
Like a the shoebill stork.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, terrifying creature. If listeners, if you've never looked one up, look one up. Terrifying creatures, and the sounds they make.
Yeah, and they're fucking clacking. They sounds like a machine gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clacking their bills.
Nature's scary. That's why the Lord gave us the AR-15.
Amen, brother.
Oh man, what'd you guys think of Brandon's death?
It was messed up. Everything leading up to his death, like he got his ear pulled in a way that was very comical. It reminded me of like Scary Movie.
Yeah,
I don't even know ears could like
Stretch like
have that
that.
much elasticity. Like I got pulled by my ears when I was younger, but it was nothing like that.
It looked pretty brutal.
I do think he may have mildly deserved it though, because he was
Oh, he was a little
Oh
asshole.
yeah.
kind of a fucking dickhead
No, he was a shitty
and
kid for
exhibiting
sure.
some abusive behaviors.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
for
it's just
sure.
boys being boys.
Just boys doing boy things, but he got fucking wrecked.
Got
Yo.
fucking murked. I forget. Did Katie run away so that she didn't see Megan kill Brandon?
No, I think she Katie got pushed down by Brandon, and then Brandon picked up Megan and like dragged her into the forest.
That's right, because Megan allowed herself to get beat up,
Yeah. Yeah, Megan
and then
wanted
once
to
she
be
thought she
separated.
was a safe enough distance, and she like fucked them up.
Mhm.
That's right,
She had that crazy ass crawl.
dude. That crawl is creepy
The,
as fuck.
Yeah, the four-legged sprint thing. I didn't forget what it was. I think it was like might have been like a Nat Geo or like Discovery Channel thing, but I guess like if we were to run on all four of our limbs, like we could reach a faster speed than like our normal just two-legged, because like in general, like any four-legged creature can like outrun us. So I like that Megan's like predator mode is like four legs. Like I'm gonna go fast as fuck. I'm gonna catch up to you.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even my partner was like, "Oh, fuck that." She's like, "There's something creepy about like people running on all fours." Because I picture like people possessed and shit when they do that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking
in
of horse.
Hereditary when
Horse
she's
girl.
running across the wall. Horse
Yeah.
girl.
Ooh,
Or like
yeah.
the old lady in The Visit when she's crawling across the floor.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I see you guys now, I'm gonna just get on all fours and run across the floor.
You're gonna throw out your fucking
Oh,
back.
you're gonna
if
make
you
me
do that,
come,
dude.
bro.
Run out to you? Hell yeah. I really gotta do it.
Speaking about crawling on the floor, I had a coworker who didn't have any legs, and he would scare people in the office by hiding underneath the desks and then running across the floor all crazy. And then right before I left the company, he got new legs, and I always used to tell him, "Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs."
Just keeping it light, office culture.
Nice. Fun times.
Oh
He
yeah.
had a good sense of humor.
Do you think Katie starts to become like sussed out and backs up Megan out of fear or out of love?
I think love. 'Cause we've already didn't we hit the scene where the therapist is like, you're creating a bond that's gonna be too hard to break.
Yes. That
I think
happens right after she gets threatened.
yeah, like attachment styles are like attachment itself is such a hard like yeah, it's a hard thing to break. And once you have like a really specific attachment, like you have to learn about it. You have to learn the positives and the negatives, and like you have to be the person that's going to actually like change out of it. And to introduce that concept to a child that's just lost their parents and now has this thing in front of them that they're like legitimately attaching themselves onto, that's also showing a lot of care and like love. So like even though Katie may have been like terrified, probably still actually really loved Megan in those moments. You know what I mean? Because like Megan was kind of all that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get a little, I think, hint of it, like literally right after this, because she's like, no, she was with, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, no, she was there or whatever.
Mhm.
And then later on, when like Megan's tucking her in, she's like, "Did you push Brandon?"
Mhm.
And she basically like says no, and then starts singing like "Bulletproof" by La Rue. I don't understand like why that song,
Just
but
banger, dude.
I was like, is
Banger
it because
song.
she's a robot, so she's just thinking "Bulletproof"? I don't know.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. It's a good song, but I thought it was a
It's a great
random
song.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, what does this have to do with what's happening in the plot? Like, how does this connect?
Bulletproof song or like
Yeah,
Katie
the
asked
bulletproof
that
song.
question?
No, I get
Oh.
because it shows Katie's having a reservation. She's like, I have your back because I'm loyal to you and like I see you like this family.
Mhm.
But in the back of her mind, she's like, I mean, she was there and then Brandon ended up dead, and I don't know what happened in between those two moments. Like,
Yeah.
that's weird. And then she's like, bulletproof. I swear I didn't do it. Next scene, murdering the neighbor. Straight up, just like she's got a taste for it now.
Comedy, bro.
Yeah,
And I think
it's a comedy.
this
Yeah.
scene is I think backs up your Chucky theory. Because this whole death was super child's play.
Mm-hmm.
It's murking her with like the pressure washer slash weed killer.
That was a weed killer, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But the pressure on that thing was crazy. Unless it was like the weed killer eating through her skin.
I thought it was just more corrosive.
But that was a gnarly scene. She gets fucking wrecked.
For real.
Mhm.
For this movie being PG-13, I think they're really creative with the kills.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, because it was originally rated R, and then they cut it down and edited it to make it PG-13. I feel like when movies do that, it makes it worse. But I
Yeah.
feel like it gives enough like mystery and creepiness to like the way M3GAN goes about doing the kills and necessarily the kills themselves. Because she kills the neighbor similarly to the dog, where she draws him in with the like bark and shit,
Yeah.
and then just like wrecks her. Which I forgot she like shoots her hand with like the nail gun, so she's like pinned to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's ruthless. Because I was like, oh damn, she's gonna light her up. She's like, nah, I just need one. I don't need you going anywhere. And now I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yep.
Fucking pressure, fucking weed killer to the dome. I think that was probably, I think in my opinion, it was the best kill of the movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty creative.
Well, there's no other like the other ones.
She only kills 2 more people after this.
Yeah, the other ones are and like you don't really maybe I mean the dance is like cool.
That
and
was creepy.
funny, but that's not necessarily a kill. The kill is the kills happens in the elevator, and then that's kind of it.
And the hallway.
And the hall, well, yeah. But those are the only 2 that are left. So I think in terms of like creativity that we actually get to see, this is the
Mhm.
only like really good one that we like we're visually part of, and like we witness all the way through basically until she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I
agree.
I think it's cool how I was touching on earlier how Gemma's like smart enough to realize like a lot of weird shit's happening with M3GAN.
Mhm.
Let's see if I don't believe like it, like she asked M3GAN, and she like when she answers, she's like, is this bitch lying to me?
Mhm.
Is she capable of doing that? She's like, let me just check her video logs. And like she stopped her own cloud backup.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck, that's crazy. She took herself offline.
For real. Terrifying, dude. AI becoming self-aware and then turning off their body cams.
I mean, it's crazy. And I think the therapist was right, because fucking Katie acts like a maniac when she learns that like Gemma's taking her in to like get tested without her being there.
And she full like slaps Gemma
Yeah.
during the therapy session, just like going off.
She like kicks her seat while she's driving. Like she
Mhm.
fucking loses it.
For real.
Like, damn, this girl's fucking on one. That's when she shuts her down, huh? She uses the pen.
Yeah. When she figures out that M3GAN turned off the cameras, then she's like, okay, I need to stop this before it gets too late.
When do we get the first when Elsie asks like how she's feeling, and she's like, what the fuck? Why did you ask me that? You're not programmed to ask me that question.
I think it was during this scene.
It's around this, right? Because
Yeah,
then she looks up and she sees M3GAN's there, and she's like, what are you doing? You're working late.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's all around the same time.
She's on some Skynet shit, dude. She can talk to other machines.
Just hacked in, dude.
She fucking hacked the mainframe, hacked the world.
Hack the world.
I love the M3GAN promotion. They have the video showing, and it's like Katie's interview,
Mhm.
and it's like it's for kids without dead parents too. The fucking satire. Oh yeah, that's right. Katie tells Gemma that M3GAN is the only person that gives her the same connection she had with her mom.
Mhm.
That's
This is it.
creepy.
That's where we see it. That's an attachment.
Yeah.
That's what I call an attachment.
Formed a trauma bond.
Trauma bonding for sure. I was hoping that we were gonna get a way more like crazy murder scene, because I think it kind of hints at it when when David's talking to like the promoter person and being like, I want to fill these fucking seats. Like I want everybody in here. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, is Megan just gonna like murder the whole company? Like what's about to go down?
Yeah, it was
But
setting up to be something pretty big.
that's what
Yeah.
I thought. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be fucking a bloodbath. I was thinking
Yeah.
like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 shit.
Ooh.
But not Megan's she's just all stealth like.
Hmm. Did you guys see Smile 2? Sorry, tangent.
I haven't yet.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I thought it was in the end, and only Twan will get this. I thought it was in the end like Smile 2.
Like she was gonna go
I can see
Skynet
that.
and Megan was gonna be everywhere or what?
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Just
Huh?
Well,
like having an audience,
yeah.
like because all those people were there for the presentation. So like doing some crazy kills in front of everyone, like, oh my God,
Hmm. Or just using
getting
the
some blood on the glass.
the whole like building security system to like just dominate
Oh,
everywhere.
Or like dancing in front of the crowd, just like covered in like everyone's blood. Like some scary movie shit. Like I slice it, dice you. Like pan and like half the crowd's dead already.
Oh yeah.
cut a hole in your ass.
Throwback.
I think this might be my favorite section of the film though, when they take her back to and they've run the test and they learn just like how fucking crazy she is.
Hmm.
Like how they hook her up and they think she's shut down, but she's faking to shut down. And they like
Yeah.
unplug her from everything, but she's still controlling everything all at the same time.
Hmm.
This part I thought her escape was fucking sick.
When she hangs with the researcher, and then like
Oh,
turns on the propane and then walks out. That was pretty cool.
I know. I thought they're gonna blow up. Like the whole building was gonna set on fire or some shit.
Yeah. She was hella calculated. Also, if there was an explosion in a building, wouldn't everyone in the building know?
Unless like the downstairs area was like super reinforced because they do like crazy experiments or something. Maybe not, but
true.
for sure the fire alarm should kick in.
It did, but Megan turned it off.
Oh, that's right. Maybe
Hmm.
that's why. Maybe that's why nobody knew.
Hmm. Just immediate turn off.
That was sick.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember if Gemma said that she had those like hacking abilities and she's like remote accessing everything.
No, I don't think Gemma realizes it until it's like
Too late.
too late. Or maybe she had already realized it. Was this? Oh yeah, because everything after this, Gemma knows that Megan is bad. So yeah, I think actually, I think the scene when Gemma goes home and then she tries to turn on, oh no, the lights are just like off in general.
I think she knows she can do something accessing like outside of her own parameters when she stops her own like cloud upload.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when she's like, okay, we fucking got to take her in. Because like, I don't know how she's doing this. Like, she's not supposed to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, maybe it's when she hacks them.
How does she hack them?
Because there's that log of, remember, she accesses Tess's phone to call when Gemma calls Tess to tell her like, yo, to do something with Megan, and then Megan answers as Tess and talks to her, and she's like, what the fuck? Why do I have like a call that lasted 30 seconds with Gemma?
Yeah.
It's like, that's weird. I didn't talk to her. And then they like look at Megan, they're like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way she could do that. And then after they're like, we have to unplug her now. Like, she's getting reverse access from us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she hacked their computer, and that's probably how she got access to the whole building.
That's when they realize it. But Gemma doesn't necessarily realize.
Gemma doesn't know.
It's just the researchers.
Because she thought she talked to Tess.
Yeah.
That shit was cool though. Because
Yeah,
like
was
she
cool.
goes fucking straight up like murder fest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that explosion didn't kill them, but they tanked it.
They
That
did.
was that was fucking crazy.
They had just taken a stim, so their HP was like already filling up.
Like, cause the dude was already like suffocating, so like when it blew up, like not that much got into his lungs because he was already hard to breathe.
Mm.
I don't think that makes sense. I think he'd be breathing heavily after getting choked out like that.
Yeah.
That she just wrecks David. And she does the fucking dance.
I think the dance is the most like iconic part of the movie. Like that's what we saw in all the trailers.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird
it's what,
looking.
yeah, it's like what's used in all the promo now. Like it's, I think at Universal they had Megan dancers like doing a dance as well. Like it just it's an iconic part of the movie.
I mean, it was a smart like move.
Mhm.
Because like I think earlier in the movie she dances with Katie, right? Like we know she can dance. We
Yeah,
know she has dancing capabilities. But when she does it all impromptu, like before, like just murdering that dude, it was like kind of like, yo, what the fuck? It's
yeah,
almost like she's taking pleasure in it now. She's enjoying the kills.
for
Yeah.
real.
Like she has her own individuality.
Hmm.
I will admit though, I think that the kills from this point on got a little lazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really any other kills after this, right? It's just
Yeah, she
the
stabs
hallway.
David and then slits Kurt's throat.
Yeah,
That's it.
and like that's it. That's all we get.
I'm interested to see because we see that Kurt was like stealing information,
Hmm.
like company secrets. And I
Hmm.
like how Megan like somehow finds all that out and she's like, yeah, I'm pinning this on you. You
Yeah,
murdered everybody here. Like she already had like I'm gonna get away with this plan because she thought she
Yeah.
killed the other two.
yeah.
That was cool.
I
I
feel
was
like
like,
she probably already released that information out to whoever it needed to be released out to.
who Kurt?
Yeah, the Kurt stuff. I feel like all that already happened.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how she's gonna get a new body in like 2.0.
Mhm. Ooh, or she let it happen. Kurt's info was released to whatever company was gonna get it, and then Megan just jumps into that
I could
body,
see
right?
that. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Like Child's
Yeah.
Play.
yeah.
We're gonna
Hell yeah.
transfer to another Mr. Good Guy.
Good guy. Yeah. Transfer into a Megan knockoff from Wish.com.
Damn, for the Timu version.
The Timu Megan.
Damn.
This next part is a little confusing. So Gemma gets home and then she puts Katie to sleep. But by the time she's from doing that and coming out, Megan's already there. Cause I know she steals the car. That was pretty sick. And she's playing like toy soldiers on the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, she caught up like hella fast.
It probably happened really quickly. Like
I mean, true.
in the scope of like the movie, it probably didn't. It seemed like there was more time, but you know, I feel like movie time is different than reality time. So probably as soon as Gemma like walked out that door, Megan like escaped.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think that Megan was actually trying to have a conversation with Gemma when she's like, "You try to decommission me, like we didn't even have like a conversation about this. Like I should get a choice in this decision." Do you think she was actually trying to like mend bridges, or she was going to kill her regardless?
I think that she actually meant it because, her programming was to protect fucking what's her name?
Katie.
And so yeah, Katie's, that's her new mom. So I can see why she would want to, reconcile the relationship.
Yeah, same. I also think that uh Megan says it later on, like you created me. We had all those conversations late at night. We used to stay up like creating things together. So I feel like
Oh yeah.
like Megan is like the body, but Megan is the AI. The body was like something new. I feel like Megan, the AI, was like already kind of connected to Gemma in like some type of way, but was also still connected to Katie. Like Katie was the main function, but Gemma was like the creator, kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think once Gemma like kind of is like she's made up her mind. She's like, no, we gotta shut her down. And
Mhm.
like they start fighting. She's like, fine. Like if you can't do this with me, then Katie's just gonna grow up without you. Then
Yeah,
like fuck it. If we're gonna work this out, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna raise her.
yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of their boss battle?
It was cool with the third family member, the fourth family member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, but first she's fucking. This is what I'm saying. She's made out of titanium and she just wrecks her with just some like regular ass like Home Depot like weed trimmer. Like it's not even like a chainsaw or anything. Just a weed trimmer.
Yeah, where was the titanium supposed to be? Was the whole frame made of titanium?
That's what they said.
You know, that was probably the upgraded version that like they're gonna sell. This version of Megan was
Oh,
probably just like, like a regular metal or like aluminum frame.
aluminum with like, was it? This shit they put on cars.
Carbon fiber.
She looked, and just I think you hit the nail on the head. When she gets scalped, it's very Chucky like when his face gets all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bruce comes in. And I like too how they use like her emotional reader against her.
Hmm.
Because she sees that like Katie's afraid of her. But then Katie like changes and she's like, oh, trusting, confident. And she's like, yeah, all right. I fucking like I got this. Like she's on my side. And she's
Yeah.
like, nah, fuck that. And she's like, boom, our third family member. And she just fucks her up, dude.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
immediately, Bruce is all beast.
It's a fucking monster. It's a tank.
I thought about that too. Like, why did Katie feel why did those emotions come up? Like confident and like trusting? But Katie, I don't think Katie knew those felt those emotions towards Megan. I felt like they were confident and trusting towards herself.
Yeah, I think so
It
too.
was a journey of self-growth. That was the character development that we needed.
Well, I think we get the first hint of it when Gemma basically was like I fucked up. Like I've been doing a bad like job as like being your new mom or whatever. Like she's like, I'll admit it. Like I was not prepared for this. I have not like, but from this point on, it's gonna be like different. Like because even Katie was starting to have her like she had her doubts about Megan, and she's like, dude, Megan's not the answer. I thought it was, and I'm sorry because you didn't need her. You needed me to be present, and I wasn't giving you that. And then Katie was like, because I think Katie wanted that connection with her aunt. You know, she's
Mhm.
like her cool aunt who would give her gifts and shit. And she's like, yeah, that is what I want. So like they kind of like made up. And then Megan comes and like tries to murder her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, she is like crazy." And I'm pretty sure Katie knew she killed Brandon, and she was just like, "Well, as a defense mechanism." She's like, "Well, I'm just gonna let that go, I guess."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably also like if I tell someone that my robot killed someone, then they're gonna take my best friend away. So
Mhm.
to not take you away, I'm just gonna turn a blind eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too, definitely. But I like the final battle; it was cool. I knew Bruce was. I'm like, they're gonna like. I'm like, what? Bruce fell over. I'm like, where's the gloves? Get the gloves.
My
It even
tools.
comes back full circle where she gets her face ripped off and she stabs her like in her cortex or whatever.
Yeah.
The
Because
fucking screwdriver.
that was described
Nucleus.
also to Katie in the very beginning. Like, this is what the chip looks like. Like, she goes in like
Oh
full
yeah,
detail. Another like foreshadowing moment.
that's right.
She's like, this is where she is or whatever. Or this is where Bruce is.
Hmm.
It was cool. Then it ends. We find out the homie survived, but so did Megan, and she uploaded herself to Elsie. I was curious. I'm like, how are they gonna make this like a part two? Because part two is supposed to come out, I think, this year.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are they gonna go from this? Like, is somebody gonna like take the scrap of her body and like they're gonna somehow like reverse engineer her like AI? It's like, nah, she's in the Matrix now. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't even know. But there's gonna be another one too called Soulmate.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
Yeah.
like a spin-off. I wonder if it's gonna be like her or it's gonna be a sex robot.
Damn, maybe.
Damn, they're doing a spin-off? So they're
Mhm.
coming out with Megan 2.0 and something
Soulmate,
else in the
yeah.
the Megan verse.
Yeah.
Meganverse. James
Yeah.
Wan knows how to make a franchise. You know, you do The
That's true.
Conjuring and then you do Annabelle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was it, man. I thought this movie was pretty good.
Hmm. It's like surprisingly good, right? I feel
Yeah.
like I remember watching it and telling you guys this. Twan hated it. But I remember telling you, and I felt like it was like in a group chat. Like I put like, "Yo, this movie's actually like pretty good." Like I had a really good time watching it, and I don't think anyone else watched it after Twan. I think he was the only one who. And
I
then you
mean,
were like,
I admittedly like don't gravitate towards horror movies.
"Yeah,
Like there's a few that I like. Like I'm definitely gonna watch the new Final Destination.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one too."
Like I love Final Destination, but like
Yeah,
I don't know. But I'm glad I watched it. It was good. I'm definitely gonna watch the second one now for sure.
Dude, we got some banger fucking horror movies coming out pretty soon. We got Bring Her Back coming out, Weapons, and
Oh,
then there's
weapons are crazy. I just saw the trailer for that one.
yeah, that one looks fucking insane.
Nuts.
Him, yeah. So in the trailer, like it's going through like the training camp and everything, and then it looks like he gets a fucking concussion, like a nasty concussion. And then after that scene, like the trailer just goes fucking nuts. So I don't know if it's like the aftermath of like his mental and his psyche after getting such a severe concussion, or what direction they're going to go into. But like the title, or no, the slogan is, "What are you willing to sacrifice?"
That's cool. That sounds cool. I'll definitely watch that one.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
Oh man. Surprisingly, for as like successful as this movie was, I expected there to be like way more like interesting facts about the movie, but not really. It was like pretty like cut and dry. They wrote it, they filmed it, $12 million budget, and it did, I think, way better than they thought it was gonna do. 181.8 mil gross. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a horror movie.
And when you take into account, like it got released in January.
Yeah.
A horror movie, a PG-13 horror movie that gets released in January, like it had all the odds stacked against it, but it still
They're
did
still
well.
riding that like Christmas high and that New Year's hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like horror movies are either summer movies or like they're drive-through movies. I don't think they're called drive-through, but that's usually like drive-through popcorn movies, or they're spooky season.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love a random time like horror movie release.
I feel like since you mentioned that there was cuts and they had to like, turn it into a PG-13, maybe that's what delayed it. Like it was supposed to maybe be released during spooky season, but then
Well, I read that they finished it before COVID or during COVID, or like right around the COVID, and it came out in 2022, and COVID started about 2020. So
yeah,
it had a little while to marinate. But I heard they cut it because they wanted it to reach like they knew this was going to be like a big with like the teenage demographic, so they wanted to get it to more people. And then they cut it, and James Wan was like, "Oh, it's actually like doesn't affect like the movie really at all. Like we don't lose much going from rated R to PG-13."
Yeah.
So I wonder if it, because of maybe they finished it during COVID and they had a little extra time before they released it, like that's how they got the time to like relook at it and like edit it down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if this was a COVID movie, then we probably wouldn't get a sequel because nobody was going to the theaters.
For real.
It would have just flopped.
They would have just released it on streaming.
Yeah, maybe that's also what helped it too. It was 2022. 2022, like officially, like obviously the United States like went full on open again like late 2021. But I feel like 2022 is where you see people themselves starting to become like more comfortable with the idea of like being outside, and people started flooding the movie theaters.
True.
So I wonder if that helped with its success. And the movie was good. We were like, hey, this is cool. People were starving for content. And it was different. It wasn't like a lot of the stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those like COVID movies that came out like just straight to stream didn't really like, they didn't hit like as hard. I mean, not to say that like only bad movies came out during that time. I'm sure that there's a good movie here.
Part 1 was a COVID movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I would have loved to see that movie in theaters.
Dude, in IMAX?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they do an IMAX double feature that movie, I'd be too down.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That'd be dope.
Take an edible and just fucking oh fuck.
Yeah. But I don't know if this would have been like as fun. I mean, I still had fun watching it alone, but I think these movies specifically, like these like black comedy horror movies, are way more fun when you have more people in there, because it's like the whole crowd is there, right? You get this whole like sense of crowd, and everyone's either cheering or laughing or screaming. Like it's an experience that you go through all together. So I think that you're right. It probably added to all of that helped this blow up even more to where it's at now.
Maybe it was strategic, like because releasing a movie in October, maybe we were still like, barely opening things back up. So like, let's hold it off and wait until like everything's open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like shit, 2020 was it 2021? That's when that fall is when schools opened up again. And this came
Yeah.
out January 2022, so it was only like a few months after. This is literally when everybody was getting back into the public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I researched Uncanny Valley a little bit more because I wanted to know. Like I think Uncanny Valley is like it's a really interesting kind of thing that's come up. I know it was first coined. I read that it was first coined in 1970 by a robotics professor in Tokyo. And I tried to like look in a little bit deeper because I remember seeing this video about like a theoretical reasoning as to why like humans have this like uncanny valley like effect or this like fear, because back in the day when we were still in our like evolving days, there were things that were potentially hunting us that looked like humans, and so we've evolved to know when something like isn't human, and it creates like an anxiety or like a phobia in us. And I think that that concept is crazy. That sounds nuts. Like imagine a humanoid creature thing was chasing us and wrecking our people enough for that to become ingrained into like our like DNA to know that like we need to avoid these things or we need to be like as close to humans as possible.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we were at war with like other humanoids. I mean,
Yeah.
like the Neanderthals were a thing during the
Yeah.
last ice age, you know?
Yeah.
But, like Homo sapiens won out.
Mm-hmm.
Given there are people and like groups of people who have Neanderthal like lineage, but not a lot.
Yeah.
That and I look at like the great apes today. I mean, there's probably other humanoid people Homo sapien like creatures over our evolutionary pattern that we beat out and ultimately became like the top biped.
Yeah. Like in that show Primitive, remember that the animated Adult Swim show with the
Mhm.
caveman and
Yeah.
the T-Rex when he
Mhm.
runs into like the other humanoid creatures and they're all like equally as fucked up. He still has to like survive all of them. It's crazy. It's a crazy concept. I know when the professor created Uncanny Valley, it was specifically for like robots and like AI stuff. But I think taking it like a little bit deeper and trying to figure out why, that was really fun. I went on like a full ass dive last night on like an edible and I was just like creeped out in the end. I was like, oh, what's going on? Like I'm gonna have like nightmares of these fucking humanoid creatures. But I didn't, so we made it. We made it out, boys.
Hell yeah.
Oh man,
Should we hop into our reviews?
hop in.
All right. I will start this off because I have never seen this movie before. So this movie actually has some pretty good scores. So Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 93%. One of the higher rated horror movies on our list for sure. And then IMDb has it at a 6.3. So I was really surprised by this movie. Like I said, I didn't go into it like with the highest of hopes. I've known about this movie for a while, and to me, it just didn't seem like it was my cup of tea. But I actually really enjoyed it. I would give it a B. Compared to some of the other horror movies that we've covered on this pod, I definitely didn't like it as much as like a Reanimator, like The Thing, or is it what's that one that we saw? That Spanish one. That one was crazy.
Evil where
Evil
no
Dead.
evil lurks. Evil
Unicorn Wars?
lurks. When evil lurks.
Yeah, when Evil Lurks. I thought this I didn't like it as much as those. I don't think this movie was like as creative of those type of movies, but I think for it being like a it's like one of the better Blumhouse James Wan like American brand like popcorny like horror movies I've seen in a while. It was surprisingly funny. The acting was pretty solid. I thought Megan was like the way she was portrayed and voiced and like acted was like oh, okay, I can see here being like the next generation like movie monster. Like I don't know what you would consider like a Michael Myers, Chucky, like those type of that type of like person. I could see Megan like being like one of those up there with like the Nun, and I don't know who
Just like
else is up there.
another horror icon.
Yeah, another horror icon of like the 2020s. Like it was pretty good. I really enjoyed the special effects are pretty good. We didn't really talk about them that much, but I guess they used a lot of puppeteer in this movie, and I thought it was pretty good. You don't really see that being used in movies. I feel like it's a lost art. Megan was creepy, intelligent, and fucking just bloodthirsty as fuck. And I think those are like the great mix up for a great horror icon. Solid B movie. I definitely recommend it to people. If you like a Chucky, like a more slapsticky horror movie, you definitely got to check this one out. I think it does a good job of mixing like not just comedy and horror, but it actually like kind of has a message. And like I think some of the best horror movies kind of tie back to something in our reality, like our over reliance on technology, and like showing how maybe how tech people in the industry can be like a little different, not as empathetic as your average Joe. And I think this movie did a great job of showing that. So yeah, definitely recommend it. It's a good horror movie. And yeah, so B. Twan, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, watching this movie for the second time, like I said earlier, I wasn't really thrilled to watch this again, but I did enjoy it the second time around. I don't know if that was because I was going into it a little pessimistic. So I think I got a little bit more out of it this time around. It was good. Once I realized that like it was in fact a horror comedy and not just a horror, it was definitely more palatable. The acting was, I mean, it like you said, it's what you would expect from a movie like this. But yeah, this movie had crazy undertones and like was definitely had a message, which you don't really get too much from like horror movies these days. The technology aspect, it's fresh, it's new. It was like you took the old Chucky and meshed it with the new Chucky. There's very technology heavy, which is current in the times. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it this time around. I didn't dislike it. It was definitely easier to watch. I would recommend it, even though like I didn't like it the first time. Now I would definitely recommend it, just because the kills were pretty inventive. The fact that it's a PG-13 movie and still like you get up that little bit of gore. Yeah, PG-13 horror movies don't really hit for me personally. I always feel like they're a little bit lackluster because of the fact that they're PG-13. But this movie, it did a good job of balancing, like, I guess the PG-13ness with horror, and then sprinkled in the little bit of like underlying humor that wasn't so in your face. It wasn't like slapstick kind of jokes or dumb dialogue. Like it was very subtle, like the dance moves. Like that shit was hilarious, but it's not like traditionally funny because she's just dancing. But in context, it was pretty funny. So yeah, I would give this movie a C plus, B minus. Definitely enjoy it more this time around, and talking about it with you dudes like made me appreciate it a little bit more. So yeah, C plus, D minus for me.
Nice. So a C plus, B minus. Say, finish us off.
I liked this movie the first time I saw it. I like this movie second time I saw it, and the third time I think it just solidified how much I like this movie. I think I think this, and I don't know, I'm not gonna say it lightly, but I think that like there are a few movies that have come out in the last, I don't know, let's say like 10 years or so, that have really good potential that have had good potential and showed good potential to be like a really good story and like create like a really cool new generation of like horror movie lovers. And this movie is like one of those movies. I think Hereditary or Ari Aster's movies also do that too in like a different kind of way. But yeah, I think that when I first saw this movie, I was like, wow, like this is actually a cool, new, modern like take on like a slasher movie because I think that's kind of what it more leans towards, like more slasher, but it has all these different pieces that like Dale you mentioned of like bringing technology in and kind of just making it like a little bit more relevant to like where we're at now. So yeah, I enjoy this movie. I think the acting for the movie type that it is, I think it's a solid like acting. Oh, I didn't say I give this movie a B, and I give it a B because I think it's a solid new aged B horror movie. Like I think when I think of like newer like horror like the B movie horror like hype, I think of like this is kind of where it's at now. Like these are the movies that we're gonna kind of start seeing as like our new like B horror that we're gonna talk about maybe in like 15-20 years. Like they're gonna look back like we're looking back now at like some like wild movies. I think in the next generation's gonna come back and they're gonna look at these movies and they're gonna be like, oh, look at this B horror movie. Because I think that's kind of what it is. It encapsulates like fun, campy horror comedy, like a little absurd, but it doesn't go like too far off the rails. It kind of mildly takes itself seriously, but it also doesn't at the same time. Like I think that this is a good point of like reference for like future generations to kind of look back at this type of like horror movie. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a fun ride. It's a PG-13 movie, so it's not like hard to digest. There's not like crazy intense violence or anything like that. There's some violence in it, but the majority of it is it's more palatable. M3GAN herself is pretty fucking hilarious, and I'm interested to see like where they go. And I hope that they develop the character well, because I can also see the opposite of creating a franchise is that you create a franchise just for like the money. Like the Nun and Annabelle, like the first ones were cool, but the sequels not so much. So I don't know. Let's hope that it continues to be good. I mean, they've already built up like a whole franchise around her, so we don't really have a choice. We just gotta kind of enjoy from here on out. But give this movie a solid B.
Nice. So we got a B from Saya, a B from myself, and a B minus C plus from Twan. The three of us give it a recommend. I think we all hit a lot of similar points. We liked M3GAN. We liked the undertones of tech and comedy. The acting was a little lacking, but just good enough for the movie. Solid film. All right. So you said we have some additions, Saya?
Got some additions from a listener in Kentucky.
Ooh, in Kentucky.
He was listening to our podcast and he went through the first four, not counting the one that just came out. He's really entertained and he wants to add some suggestions. The first one is The Car, the 1977 movie.
Car, okay.
The next one is Duel. It's a 1971 movie. That's Duel.
Okay.
Third one is Christine, 1983.
Christine.
Classic.
That's classic.
The fourth is Sleepy Hollow, 1999.
Oh,
Sleepy
you fucking
Hollow?
love that movie,
With
dude.
Johnny Depp?
Hell yeah.
Is it Hollow with an O or with an A?
Hollow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also added Tetsuo the Iron Man. Do you guys have any additions? Right. So to read it back, Tetsuo the Iron Man, The Car, Duel, Christine, and Sleepy Hollow.
Yep. Still writing on Pulse. Pulse.
All right. What are we thinking?
Foreign horror.
Foreign horror. What about you, Twan?
AKA Pulse.
I'm gonna go comedy.
A comedy.
Yeah.
I think we are going to get an action movie. Let's see what we get.
David Lynch's The Last Highway.
Damn, life is a highway. I hope not. I don't know if I want another Lynch right now.
What do we need? We need Lost Highway and Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost there, boys. Two more.
Christine?
Oh, Christine? No, Freaky Tales.
Ice Cream Man.
Oh, it might be. I think it is. The Ice Cream Man.
What is this?
This is a new addition by Twan.
Yeah, it's Ron Howard's fucking brother.
Oh yeah, Ron Howard.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking
Oh,
about
you-
this last week.
You added this last week. Jeez.
Yeah.
God
Damn.
damn it, dude. You took away from my pulse.
Pulse
Oh,
was
you're getting
pretty
Pulse
far.
in 2 weeks.
True.
All right, the Ice Cream Man. All right, guys. So the wheel has spoken. A recent entry just got the bidding. We are covering Ice Cream Man, 1995 horror movie. Should be interesting. 90s horror films have their own type of flavor to them, pun intended. So it should be an interesting ride. I have seen this movie before. It has been a super long time. I don't remember much about it, but I have seen it. Twan seen it as well. Say this will be a first time viewing.
First time.
Nice.
Should be a good. I mean, might as well be a first time. I can guarantee I remember almost nothing of this movie, but I have seen it before. So I'm interested to revisit it. But thank you guys for joining us this week as we covered the 2022 modern classic M3GAN. It was a recommend from the three of us. I gave it a B, Saya gave it a B, and Twan gave it a B minus C plus. I think it's worth your time if you want something a little different. That's not super gory, but just scary enough to I don't know, to scare you, I guess. But if you guys haven't done so already, you can follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram, X/Twitter, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, and live on Twitch every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. As always, I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Adios.
and Twan.
Bye.
Catch you guys next week. Bye.